Hey there, this is Tara. I've got a question. And I know I'm probably not the only person that struggles with this, but right at this moment, I just started driving down my country road with my Diet Coke. And I'm starting to feel like, oh no, like I'm getting nervous. And a lot of that is like just financially nervous and whatnot. And so I turned off the podcast I was listening to pray and to pray out loud. And then I said, oh my goodness, I wanted to make a short about this and put it on my YouTube channel. What I am experiencing right now is I'm kind of getting like upset with myself because I should know better. I should know that everything's going to be okay. If not okay, really great. And I feel like reaching out to God right now and asking for help is basically like reaching out and asking for more proof. How do I reconcile that? I'm going to keep praying, but I figured I'd put it out there and see what your thoughts on that. Maybe you have something you can say that will help me and other people as well. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the chaos. I'm looking behind me and like, wow, it looks so chaotic. I've got a million egg cartons there. I got to either bring it over to the lady that I buy the raw milk from or something. Oh, it's driving me crazy. But anyway, welcome back. My name is Tara. If you're new to the channel, I'm a 54-year-old woman. I'm going to be 55 in October. And I'm vlogging my life, talking about my experiences, and also talking a lot about my way of eating. And I'm excited to have you here. If you're new here, I tend to be a 30 to 40 minute long video, sometimes shorter. Just so you know, buckle up. Um, so today there's quite a bit of things I wanted to talk about. So this morning I got to go and put together some furniture. So I have been on the owner about our most popular unit or listing about really updating things. We had too many complaints that I can't have. Chairs that weren't quite right. The what do you call it? Benches were like not good, and a couple of things that have been going on since before I even started with the company, and I've been working on it. Like last summer, I painted. Could use another layer of paint though. I see the wear in it. I think I should do a different finish. The blue is beautiful. It's a super light blue, almost white, but at the same time, it's really warm and beautiful. Anyway, we got chairs for the kitchen table, which is great, and I put those together. But the benches were lost in the world. Nobody knew where they went, and they showed up, and I thought they were garbage. There was a box next to the garbage outside, and it was like there, and I'm like, finally, one day I'm like, I need to look at this box because the garbage people didn't take it. And I look and it has my name on it. So the benches that got lost in the world and eventually showed up at my house. And that's where when she buys things for the place, she sends them to me. Um, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I got to go build them, and they were awesome to build. And they're very similar to the ones that we had before. They're not going to last that long, but they weren't super expensive. and they're solid now. So I'm really excited. And they're built a little differently that they should stay solid longer. And I'm really happy about that. Also, the pool is full up at J Peak. So if J Peak actually, it's not just skiing. It actually has the largest indoor water park in all of New England, maybe even further than that. And they also have a beautiful outdoor pool, and it's finally open, and the water is warm and really quite nice. So that's awesome. Also, their hot tub is outside, so even in the winter, people are running into the hot tub for a nice hot soak in the wintertime. So I'm really excited about that. I really like this time of year up there. Probably number one because it's very quiet. People up there for things like Jeezum Crow, and it's the pace is different. It's just really nice, and it gives me time to work on the apartment, do some deep cleaning things that you just don't have time for in the winters, and just really make it shine. So I was happy about that. And when I left, I said, well, I need to go down a dirt road because I was done before noon. I was like, wow, okay. And excuse me. I stopped at my little store and grabbed myself a road soda, which was a Diet Coke. And now I know I talked about this last video. I need to stop. Maybe I didn't talk about it last video, but Diet Coke can't be the thing. It just can't. So I don't mind drinking one every 6 months or even two every 6 months, but one or two a day, it's damaging to my body, and I'm trying to heal, right? I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse you. Excuse me, Fancy. I'm sorry. So, I'm trying to heal. The way I'm eating is almost fully carnivore. I would call myself ketovore because I'm still adding some carbohydrates in a single form or very complex um, ferments and things like that. But really low, really, really low. So here I am driving down the road, and I started to feel really upset and started feeling like I was lacking faith, like bad. And it wasn't long before I said, you know what? I was just passing the Mississippi, and I was like, I think there's a pull off over here. Let me pull over and make a video about this. And so I did make a really quick clip. I may put it at the end of this, but I might not even share it. Basically, what I said was, I had turned up, like I usually have a podcast going in the background. I turned off everything. I was like, I'm gonna sit with God through for this ride. It is God's country out here, and right this time of year, it's just mind-boggling, stupidly beautiful. Um, and I was getting nervous, and I was feeling bad, and I was about to ask God to give me more evidence. Then I felt really bad, like how dare I ask for more evidence? And then I wanted the clip I made was, how do you reconcile with that when you're feeling really bad and but you're feeling like you don't, even though you should. And I was just like, I felt bad about thinking and asking God for more evidence that things are going to be okay. What are we at, the 26th, I think? The 26th? Could be the 27th? No, it's the 26th, I think. I don't know. I can't look. Um, and I did really good all winter, jamming out my rent, and getting ahead. And I was not able to pay June's yet because it's the season that you have to change your tires out or you're going to destroy the roads and possibly get a ticket or something like that. I can't. Um, And I don't want to destroy the roads. They're already bad enough. I don't want to be part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? So I do hear people this time of year that will continue all summer because they can't afford to get into new tires on those spokey tires. And it sucks. And I don't like it. And I'm not going to judge somebody. And I was afraid I was going to enter into that season. And when I still had the money, I called and I got an appointment for the 19th of this month. And I got new tires. I had to get new tires. My last year's tires were not going to work for another season for me. And that was it. Very little left over for that. And I'm like, I really want my rent paid now. I want it paid before the first, you know? And I'm like, it's been so slow. And I've been trying really hard to just this slow time to take it as on purpose so that I'm not just out of my mind. Because I know last year when it got slow, I just was out of my mind. This year I've been trying to focus on restoration and all that fun stuff that you've been with me for. Um, and it was just wild. And I'm thinking, I start driving down the road after I made that clip real quick, and I'm like, I have got so much evidence already. The fact that I'm here right now is evidence. The fact I was born is evidence. And that I might have to adjust my brain and be uncomfortable. And that might have to be what it is. And I cannot stress too much because that'll put me back into a situation I don't want to be in. I really truly believe that God wants you to be content. He would love it if you were joyful, but content is his first choice, I think. Being in fear and depression and sadness and faithlessness, that is absolutely the devil working on your brain. That is absolutely Satan. I'm 100% telling you that. Let me show you this is the drink that is going to be my new road soda. I figured I'd show it to you because I was thirsty. It's a sparkling water. It's a Sunshine by LaCroix. It's got you heard it open, right? It's not as fizzy as I would want it, but it tastes good and it tastes clean. And the ingredients are small. There's like 3. So I just got to bring those with me and keep them cool so that when I come home, I can road soda. I really like that. Anyway, so there I am driving down the road, thinking about it, and I'm like, wow, you're all right, kid, because you're always going to get what you ask for. Okay? I promise you that. And sometimes that what you asked for is going to show up in a way you didn't want it to. I'm telling you. I just want you to be aware of that. So I always try to get myself in alignment with contentment as soon as I can. So I was about to go past. There's this little farm stand on that road that I like to stop at. They don't sell meat, so I won't be stopping as much this year, but she does do ferments and she does plants. And I love plants. And I just love them. They're an elderly couple. I'd say by the looks of it, I'm gonna say they're in their 80s. And they're really super sweet. They've got a nice little garden and she's really productive with it and she's able to sell stuff. I'll buy the zucchini. I'll buy the super low carb stuff as long as I don't go full carnivore by the summer. I might not go full carnivore right now. Well, I'll discuss that in a minute. So I'm driving by and she's got a very small plot. I say it's about the size of my living room, not the kitchen part, just the living room. And she may have other things around, but it's pretty small. Maybe it is the kitchen and the living room because it's longer. but it's not a huge garden. It's not beyond her ability to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? It goes to show you, if you do vegetables, there's a little hoverfly saying hello. You can do a lot of vegetables, an abundance of vegetables in a very small area. If you were vegetarian and had a quarter of an acre or an eighth of an acre, you could grow enough food to live and not buy any. I'm serious. She doesn't do any animals though. And I think that house would just look so cute if there were some chickens running around. Chickens are great. So I'm driving by and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, no, no, no. You stop your Jeep. I look behind me because there's a lot of, it's side by side time. And I don't want to just be like backing up willy nilly and running into somebody that's behind me. And so there's no one behind me. And I back up and I'm like, get out. And it's like, what? I'm like, stop. And it's like, what? I'm like, hey, bear. And it's like, I'm not moving. If I had gotten out and I was thinking of stopping and looking at what she has for ferments, okay, and even just getting her to come out of the house, say hello, because she'll come out as soon as someone stops, and see how their winter went, and all that. And if I had seen that bear, it was right at the edge of her garden, while I was out of my car, I might have flipped out. I've got the bear scare. I know they're all around, but like last year, I got bear scare. I never ran into one or got totally afraid. Like never had but this was close. This was, I would say, 25 feet away from me, maybe a little bit more. And I rolled down my window. I'm taking pictures. And I'm like, what am I doing? If that thing decides to start running at me, I'm not going to be able to roll up my window and pull away fast enough. He's going to scratch me. Or she. I don't know. It's a big bear. So that is probably the picture in the front of this video. So I was like, oh, look at the bear. And I'm thinking, what, God, why would you show me a bear? What's up with that? And then I started thinking about how the bear was just laying there, all these rhymes, just chilling out, probably waiting for the woman to come out. And she probably was smart and didn't, because it's probably a female. It might be a female bear. I'm not sure. And it was just chilling in the weeds. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, like I'm from Montauk, and I am not a fan of ticks. As a matter of fact, I think I've got a scar from a tick bite I had on my arm when I was younger, but I can't see it right now, so I think it's right here, right there. I don't like them. I hate them. It's the worst. I'd rather live in Florida and deal with rattlesnakes and cockroaches. That's how much I don't like them. But Florida's got its own brand of trying to kill everybody. They've got, funky mosquitoes and robot rabbits, okay? Like, that's crazy. Um, and I'm like, oh, this poor animal. And I'm like, that animal doesn't give a shit. That animal is in complete faith, just laying there in the bushes, not giving one shit. It's not excited about me. It's looking at me. It's definitely like, wonder why she stopped. What you looking at? It didn't show any aggression, didn't move towards me. I just hoped that I wanted to knock on their door, but it was too close to their house, like for me to get out. And I don't know their number, because I would have called them and been like, don't go to the garden today. Wait, she or he is out there. Ah, that's good. I like that. So let's move on from that. So I saw a bear, and it was really close, and I was really excited. And I started feeling better. And then I drove past. There's some Amish people that live down that road. Oh, oh. There's something about it. Golly, there's so much freedom in that. So they've got the clothes out hanging on the line. I'm like, oh my gosh. And there's one horse that's tied up to a buggy because they travel horse and buggy. And it's just standing there and it's just looking at some windows. And you can tell by the way it's on the buggy that it's on the buggy so it doesn't go anywhere. It's parked. And I'm like, oh, you poor guy, staring at the windows. And then the other ones are off in the field and rolling around and being silly. And I'm like, hi. And they've got a Pyrenees, and I always say, hi, dog. And that just brings me joy. And I don't see them outside very much at that particular spot. But they do a lot of traveling because I hear them all the time. Maybe we'll hear them while we're here. As soon as the roads are good enough to travel on with a horse and buggy, they are doing it. In the winter, they get rides. So I think this house is a summer house because I didn't see any fire coming out in the winter. No chimney. So I think they're making it a year-round house. The farm right next door to me is Amish. And you'll see the kids playing outside and the women outside. And I just think it's really interesting. Anyway, let's go move on from that. So I get home and I'm like, remember, I'm pretty sure I told you I made this really cool chicken soup. I ended up making it a bake. Last night I was just like, eh. It just was like, I had to struggle so hard to get the fat right. Add so much fat to it to get the fat right. And I'm like, this is a lot of work, but I really like chicken. But when it comes to the nutrients that I'm trying to achieve and the macros I'm trying to achieve, that's the only way to eat a chicken is eat the whole damn thing. And so there it is. It's all in there. There's one breast, there's two thighs, there's one drumstick, one wing, and some back fat or back meat. So that's basically the whole chicken, right? It's just not there. And I'm like, I know I'm going to need to eat that for lunch. I cannot just wrap that up and freeze it because that's stupid. Food always tastes better after it's been together for a minute. So I said it was this afternoon when I got home. I'm going to put some salsa on it. I've got some really nice organic salsa that's really delicious. It's not spicy though. And I put a little sour cream with it, and that really rounded out that dish. So I guess when I have things like that, I'm going to carb it. I've got an itch in my throat. I don't want to cough. I got this microphone right here. It's like, I don't like it. So that was really good. And then Fancy and I went outside for a little bit. I did some cleaning that you can't see because none of the spots that you're looking at were cleaned. And I double checked my calendar. I get to go to Maple Mountain tomorrow. That's my favorite place to clean. I'm very excited. People were there for a minute though, so I'm a little worried about that. But last time people were there for a minute, you couldn't even tell they had gone there. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I had some raw milk that was starting to sour. When you opened up the container, it smelled like cheese, like cheddar cheese. And I'm like, oh, what do I do with this? And I'm like, oh gosh, what do I do with this? And I'm like, well, why don't I make cheese out of it? It already smells like cheese. Nothing wrong with it. So like when you have raw milk and it turns, it's not as dangerous as a pasteurized. Is that crazy? As a matter of fact, if you left raw milk on the counter by accident or on purpose, it would absolutely separate and you would have like a counter cheese, like a almost like cottage cheese. But I don't want to do that either. I don't want to play with it. So I'm like, let me make some cheese. So all the cheese stuff said vinegar. I don't got no vinegar. I got apple cider, but I don't want to use that for that. And I rarely use apple cider for anything, but I kind of like don't want to use it. So lemon juice works. I got lemon juice. I'm not throwing that out for any reasons. Why? I'm not going to drink it, but I could use it in something. And so I poured the milk in the pan and I brought it up to about 190 to 200 degrees. And I freehand it because I was watching this one video. The guy's like, you totally just do this by eye. Stop at the measurements, just make the cheese. And as soon as it gets to here, you splash a little in, you mix it, get it around. You'll know when to stop with either your vinegar or your lemon juice when the separation is going to start. You're going to see it. Then you take it off the heat and you leave it for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you strain it through 2 cheesecloths. And so I did, and then I felt like it was too loose when I went to open it. So I took one of the cheesecloths off and kept just one, and tightened it real good, and got the whey out of it. I have the whey in the fridge. I'll probably give it to the chickens because she has the kefir with me. I don't bake. I don't need the whey for that unless I buy a steak. I will marinate it in whey because whey is good. But there's not much else that I personally can do with it, being ketovore. So I want to show you my cheese. So what I did is I put a little garlic powder in it and a little crushed red pepper. Look at the cheese. Look at this cute little cheese. Oh my God. It's so nice. Shall I taste it with you? Oh, Fancy's going to flip out. See it? That's wild. The reason why it's wild is I've made this cheese before and it's super mild. This, because it was soured raw milk, and when I smelt it, I was like, it smells like cheddar. This is almost like a farmer's cheddar, like a curd. Cheese curds? That's popular in Vermont. So I'm going to make a cheeseburger and I'm going to use that as my cheese. I'm excited. I want you to see it. So it's just a little one. See how tiny it is? I think that's great. So I might make some. You don't have to have sour milk to make it. It just has to be whole. It doesn't have to be raw, but it has to be whole milk. Okay? It doesn't have to be sour. I just didn't want to throw any of it out. I don't like that. And I'm like, there's got to be a way for me to use this because I'm not going to drink it, even though I drink kefir and that tastes like raw milk. But I'm not going to do that. That is really good. I'm so happy. I'll add more salt though. And when you add your flavors just before you squeeze out the whey. So when it's in your cheesecloths, whatever flavors, you could add chives. You could add a little maple syrup if you're not so worried. I don't want my cheese to be sweet, so that's out. You add salt. So I put a little garlic powder, a little bit of crushed red pepper flake, and some salt. And then you squeeze so it all gets in there good, and you notice that the red pepper flakes are at the top. They're not at the bottom. I'm sure that I could play with it and make it all the way through, whatever. The last time I made cheese, it was like a cream cheese. It was spreadable. This is cuttable, which is really neat. How cool is that? So then I sit down to my calendar and I'm like, okay, I look at what I've got. Back to being worried about rent, right? Look at what I got. I know what I need to spend. Um, I need to buy food. I need to make sure I got gas. And lucky for me, I have been very good about getting her topped off as often as possible, especially with the way the gas prices are right now. I see that crude has dropped a lot, so hopefully it keeps going and those gas prices ease up on us a little bit, especially if you live out in the country and you have to drive everywhere. But there's no uh, they want you living in a 15-minute city. I'm just telling you. So, unless you're Amish and then you get on your horse and you go. Some freedom in that. A lot of work, but I get a notification. It sounds like an Airbnb notification. I'm like, sure enough, a last minute booking at a big house. So it's got a nice cleaning fee on it. Plus, I have a residential. I have Maple Mountain, and I have a show up, air out, and vacuum if need be. On the show up, I charge $50 for a show up like that. I'm so excited. I will be if I bought nothing, I will have all the rent. So I'm like, that's cute. That's more evidence, and I'm sure there'll be more than that. It's crazy because I'll have 2 more days. So the last time, so work tomorrow, the day after, and the day after. And no, I'll have one extra day in there that something could happen. So that might be the one day that I am able to earn money to buy the things I need, like gas and food. I'm pretty good, but you can only eat so many hamburgers. And right now I'm big on the steak. I really wish that my meat market would sell me the chuck roll. That would save me. That would probably be a month's worth of food. And that would be a lot cheaper than what I'm spending right now. But granted, me eating just meat has been cheaper than me not. So it's not that it's more expensive. I just don't have to buy other things to go with it. You know what I'm saying? But the truck roll would really, that would be so amazing. And I can get it at Sam's Club. Not Sam's Club. I can get it at Costco for $2.50 cheaper than they'll sell it here. I would have to have my friend go get it, and then I'd have to go pick it up from them. That'd be an hour drive. Plus, I have to have the money for them to buy it before they go. So I've got to really. I just wish they would come closer. It's a $6 a pound kind of meat. I just wish they would come closer. So keep your fingers crossed on that. That could be more evidence. Who knows? Because I'll buy that. Then I won't have to worry about it for a while. The only time that I would have to worry about, oh man, I do want a cheeseburger, then I probably would have to buy some cheeseburger meat, which is fine. That's totally fine. And if I really wanted chicken, because I do crave it, that's fine. You know? But I like steaks, and I would cut that whole thing up into steaks. I like them all the ways. So, with that being said, here we are at 32 minutes. I told you I talk a long time. I'm trying to think of Was there anything else? It's warm today. You can hear the fan. It's really right next to my head. I got the ceiling fan in the bedroom at full blast. I got my air purifier at full blast. I got the window in the kitchen full blast. So I got the air moving. But I'm not hot. I feel really good. I love this weather. It's so beautiful. And Fancy, when she rolls around on the ground, it's like she's giving the earth a big hug. And I think that's so cute. And she actually told me this afternoon, hey, don't you want to take a nap? And I was like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling like in particular like I needed a nap. She's like, well, you're still kind of on vacation and you got to work 3 days in a row. And she like, I'm like, get out of here. And I go and I'm like, all right, I'll lie down and see what happens. She jumps up. Dude, she's cute. And the cat's like, what? And he comes in, he cuddles right here and she cuddles right there. And we just like, I just snore my little brains out. And nobody's telling me I got to take an antihistamine so I don't snore. And life is good and content. And I'm excited to go work tomorrow. So hopefully, oh, I'll pull up beeping my horn. So if there's any bears there, they'll run because that's the woods. That's big time in the woods. There's nobody driving by that place, but Border Patrol and one person. I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. I still think that last house on the other side of the road is government. But who the hell knows? This is delicious. I'm excited. So I'm going to let you go now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I took a picture of the field where all the dandelions were that I've had it as a cover a couple of times. It's all white now from the dandelions turning. They didn't hay it yet. So I think that's wild. So I don't know. Maybe I'll stick it in here somewhere. I don't know. I don't have an editor. I need to do that. I need to figure that out. So one of these days. For now, I want to thank you very much. And I hope you have a blessed day. And I love you long time. And I'll see you on the other side. Bye.